Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
For this is what the Sovereign Lord says.
Why do you need prophets to tell people who you are and what you want?
If you can justify everything that the God of the Bible has done, then you can justify any of your behavior.
A lot of this mentality is trickling into what is now mainstream right-wing Christianity.
I am capable of empathy greater than this God of the Bible.
This is a Bible that they tell kids. This is the good Lord. This is the good book. He is fantasizing about murder, mass murder.
Head over to sacrilegiousdiscourse.com right now to find out how to leave us a review or support us on Patreon.
Hey there, sinners and saints. It's your favorite Bible-bashing duo from Sacrilegious Discourse, and we need your help.
That's right, folks. We're raising funds for some heavenly equipment and a studio that doesn't sound like it's in the depths of hell.
Our current setup, let's just say it's more apocalypse than audiophile.
So if you want to hear us dissect the Bible without the background noise of demonic squirrels, chip in a few bucks.
We're aiming for $5,000 to upgrade our audio and build a studio worthy of blasphemous banter.
Donate today and help us spread the good word of atheism.
You can find a link right on our homepage, sacrilegiousdiscourse.com. Every dollar counts.
Even if it's from your collection plate. Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
And I'm wife.
Together, we're reading the Bible for the very first time.
We grew up without religion and wanted to know what all the fuss was about.
Well, what have we learned so far?
That God is a dick, and apparently some people believe in talking donkeys.
We're not trying to pass ourselves off as experts.
Nope, we're just reading the Bible for the first time and giving our first take reaction.
If you'd like to join us in this venture, you might consider starting at episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in wherever you like.
All right, let's go read the Bible.
Yeah, let's get to it. Husband!
Wife!
Do you know what we're doing today?
I do.
Oh, is that all? That all? Okay. You're not going to throw it back to me?
I didn't. Yeah, no, I was trying to see what happened if I just left it hanging there, see where it went.
It's trash.
It just died. It just went nowhere.
Yeah, the day the music died.
What are we doing today?
We're doing Sacrilegious Book Club.
Okay, all right. And maybe a little bit more about what we're covering today?
Yeah, we are still in Isaac Asimov's Guide to the Bible. We're in the Old Testament, and we are on the book of Deuteronomy, and that will be pages 193 to 207, and we're doing that whole chapter.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go ahead and get on into this.
Okie dokie.
Hey, wife.
Yes, husband?
Did you know that we are now on Patreon?
Yes, because you told me, but also, no, tell me more.
So we're on Patreon now.
Are we?
We are, and our supporters can go there and support us, and we have multiple levels all the way up to You Killed God.
That sounds really drastic and escalated quickly-ish.
Well, no, there's multiple levels before there, so it escalates on a sliding scale of, cheap to not cheap. Oh. But, we can definitely use any amount, so, any support is always appreciated.
So what exactly is Patreon?
It's a place where you can show your support for our podcast. And
just our podcast?
Any podcast or any performer. But, we're the ones that, you're listening to right now. So maybe you should, support us. That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. But we love you anyway.
So all you got to do is go to Patreon, look up Sacrilegious Discourse. It's actually patreon.com/Sacrilegious Discourse is our actual main page there. So head on over and send us some love.
Yeah. Okay. So we start Deuteronomy with Deuteronomy.
Go figure.
On page 193.
It's amazing.
Okay, of this, Asimov says, this book does not advance Israelite history, but purports to be the record of a series of addresses given by Moses on the eve of his death and of the Israelite entry into Canaan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's basically what it was.
Yep. I mean, that summed it up. Deuteronomy comes from the Greek word for second law, and because of mistranslations from where Moses instructed in Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 18. When the king sits upon the throne of his kingdom, he shall write him a copy of his law.
Okay.
Okay. And so a copy of his law was taken to mean a second law. And then that Greek word was Deuteronomy.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
About this, Asimov says, it seems quite likely that Deuteronomy is the one book of the Hexateuch that existed in essentially its present fashion even before the exile.
Oh, wow.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's cool.
Right?
I mean, yeah, it's interesting because we're now just we're post-exile now. Mm-hmm. So, like, that's neat.
Yeah. Deuteronomy is believed to be the document to which the high priest Hilkiah refers when he tells Josiah he found the book of the law in the house of the Lord in 2 Kings.
And that's kind of what we had talked about because it was Moses' book that we were talking about. So we assumed that was what that was.
Yeah, so he's talking about Deuteronomy.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah.
The priesthood, as staunch Yahvists, created this doctrine and placed it in Moses' name, hoping to impress the king. So they found it, where found is in quotes.
Yeah.
Of this, Asimov says, until then, Yahvism had been a minority sect, often persecuted and sometimes in danger of being wiped out altogether. Now, for the first time, it assumed an ascendancy, and thanks to the enthusiastic cooperation of Josiah, who was a young, impressionable guy when this happened, it was made the official religion of the land.
Oh.
Yeah,
so
thanks, guys.
So it wasn't before this was written. Mm-mm. That's interesting.
Right?
So this was just like, basically, them playing their cards, like, hey, we need to get this popularized here.
Yeah, he goes on to say, the Yahvistic priests during the exile, as they edited the old traditions and codified the laws, incorporated Deuteronomy virtually intact into the Hexateuch.
Okay.
Because it came later.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they just stuck it in there word for word.
Right.
Yahvism became Judaism and its daughter religions, Christianity and Islam.
Right.
Which
obviously.
we know.
Right.
And then he ends this little bit of the chapter by saying, and I just love this, it kind of sums it up. Because remember I told you that this whole book of Deuteronomy was the shortest bit yet?
Right.
He says, if Deuteronomy is dealt with briefly in this book because it is not primarily concerned with history, that does not mean it may not be the most important part of the Bible in some ways, or even the most important piece of writing in the world.
Wow.
Right?
That's a big statement.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, it has a lot because of what Moses says and like what is... Yeah. So, and obviously this is what got it pushed to prominence also.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, that makes it a very big book for the Bible.
Exactly. The next bit is about Lebanon, and that is on page 196.
Okay.
And I should say Lebanon. God damn it. Lebanon. I just can't with Ohio. Okay, so Moses recaps events, including geographic directions to travel to Canaan. Okay, that's what this whole thing is about. Okay, and while Moses is going on and on about that, Asimov goes on and on about Lebanon, the modern version of which lies directly north of modern Israel. And the two, Lebanon and Israel, are the only non-Muslim powers in a sea of Arabic states, at least as of the time he wrote this.
Right.
Lebanon was known for its forests of cedar, of which Solomon built much of the temple as well as his palace.
Yeah, I remember that. He hired those cedar people that were really,
cedar people.
You know,
well, they
good
were
at
from
cedar
Lebanon.
stuff.
Yep, they were from Lebanon.
Right. I always thought Lebanon was a Islamic state. I didn't know that it was not. I'd be curious if it still is not an Islamic state.
Yeah, I would be curious too because those borders tend to move real fast.
Right.
So, but as of the time that he wrote this, it was not a Muslim state.
Right. Gotcha.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
So the next bit is called Caphtor on page 198.
Okay.
And Moses lists off, quote, tribes that were evicted from their territory by the invading Edomites, Moabites, and Ammonites. And, they're referred to as the giants because of their great
heritage,
stature or fighting abilities, whatever.
Right.
One tribe he names, though, is the Avim, who were displaced by a non-Hebrew people that came out of Caphtor. The Caphtorim, a.k.a. the Philistines. So Asimov asks, so where is Caphtor?
Right.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
The Caphtorim established themselves on the seacoast and were likely the early Greeks, a.k.a. the Minoans, ruled by the legendary King Minos of Crete.
Gotcha.
They were also referred to as the Mycenaeans, a.k.a. the Mycenaeans, a.k.a. the peoples of the sea.
Got it.
And I really enjoyed...
That's interesting because you remember there's that whole, fable or whatever of the people of the sea that destroyed many things, but they never knew who they were.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that they were referred to that way because that's similar to what the people that, conquered a lot of things at some certain time back then was called too.
It's probably a lot of these people.
Right. No, that's interesting.
I really enjoyed writing the word Mycenaean because the last bit is with the A and the E that are squished together to form that one.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but it looks so cool.
Right.
And I was very excited to be able to find it on my keyboard. When you hold down the letter A, it pops up all the different little options, and the A-E squished together is one of them.
I gotcha.
Yeah, that was fun. So Caphtor is likely the island of Crete or else Cyprus, but who knows?
Right, one of those.
Somewhere around Greece. It's somewhere over there around Greece.
I gotcha.
So that's it for that bit.
Okay.
Next comes Mount Hermon. I mean, he does a lot of geography in the book in general.
Right.
And every once in a while, he just goes too far.
Well, it sounds like he's more interested in the history of everything and not so much the religiosity of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. So, that's definitely true. But he gets lost in the geography.
Right.
And I can't.
Right.
I cannot go with him.
Sure.
That's never been my strong point. It's just not my wheelhouse. And moreover, it doesn't even match up from what he says to today. So,
right. But at least you get, if you are reading the book, I do think he's got pictures and stuff that are pretty detailed and stuff.
He does. And
so it can give you some idea as to what was happening in those times at the very least.
But I have a hard time, too, with figuring out where the map lines up. You know what I mean? Like I need a X marks the you are here kind of thing. Okay, I understand. I'm not in Europe, or the Middle East or anywhere over there. Okay.
Yeah.
But I need a point of reference, some kind of frame of reference, and I'm not familiar enough with geography of the area to know what any of it means. So it's just still, even so, a bunch of names.
Right.
And that has always been my problem with learning geography. I have to find some one thing that I'm... how I learned to drive to drive in a new area is to locate one thing that I'm familiar with. And then from there, everything is in reference to that one thing.
Right.
So, when I first moved to Ohio, everything was in reference to Borders. Because Borders was up the road. I knew how to get to Borders from my house.
Right.
So, I need some kind of frame of reference, and I don't have one.
Sure.
So the maps are pointless to me. Sorry if I was repetitive.
No. That's
blah,
fine.
blah, blah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next section is called Mount Hermon on page 202.
Okay.
And that was just a little brief thing. So when Moses reiterates the story of how the Israelites defeated Og of Bashan and conquered that district, he says they took the land unto Mount Hermon. Okay?
Right.
And so what that basically means is that they're now ruling all the way up to the northern limits of Canaan. Remember before when they were we searched here and there and there and here, and basically it was just saying, all the way as far north and as far south as possible. We searched hither and yon.
Right.
This is just their way of saying, we own all the land way up to north up there.
Right.
So that's all that was.
Yep. Okay.
The next section is Rabbath, or Rabbath, I'm not sure, on page 202.
Okay.
When Moses mentions victory over Og, he talks about Og's giant bed, which we remember. Which
they even gave the dimensions.
Which was apparently located in the city of Rabbath Ammon. The town under the name of Ammon, Amman, survives today. I didn't double check this, but as of Asimov's writing, survives today as the capital of Jordan and has a population of some 250,000 people.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I meant to double check to see, does it still exist like today, not Asimov's today.
I bet that it does.
Probably. I didn't go down a rabbit hole, though, like I normally do. I was just trying to get the book read.
Gotcha.
So, sorry about that, guys. But if you are interested, again, that town is Amman, and it would be the capital of Jordan.
Got it.
So,
yeah.
If anybody wants to look that up. Okay, the next little section is Mount Gerizim, or Gerizim, Blessed Mountain.
Yeah.
On page 203. So Moses goes over all the laws again, and he's like, blah, 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 and, quote, warns the Israelites that there is both a blessing and a curse involved. A blessing if they are obedient to the law, and a curse if they are not.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
He tells them that they have to go to blessed and cursed mountains and make their vows to God at that exact GPS location.
Right.
And I mean, he spells it out.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Next section, Belial, which, thank you very much, that is now the name of the villain in the book I'm writing. Belial. That's a great name, right?
Yeah.
Okay, on page 203. So, Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 13 says, children of Belial, saying, let us go and serve other gods. Belial means not profitable. It's something that is Belial, according to Asimov, something that is Belial is worthless and empty. Okay. Children of Belial are people whose views and opinions are worthless and empty and therefore not to be listened to. And I love this example. He goes, it is a short step from considering something worthless to considering it wicked. And the example that he gives is the word naughty. At one time, naughty meant worthless as well, like empty, containing naught.
Right.
Or, just not worth much. But it came to mean wicked or at least troublesome.
Right.
And I mean, I use that word today too. Like when I'm babysitting, I'm like, don't be naughty.
Right.
So I say it that way.
Yeah.
So I just found it very interesting. He's right. Something that has zero worth all of a sudden over time becomes something that is horrendous or wicked.
Right.
And I mean, the same thing happened to the word Jezebel.
Right.
Because all it was for her is that she was, somebody who consorted with false prophets.
Right.
But over time, it became to mean a fallen woman and a whore, a slattern,
Right.
And so now when we call somebody a Jezebel, we mean that they're a slut and they sleep around as though there's anything wrong with that.
Right.
So, anyway, I love the history of words.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a neat subject.
So here's something cool. When left untranslated and capitalized, it seems like the writers are referring to an evil spirit when they say children of Belial.
Okay.
Or even the devil. In the New Testament times, the Jews viewed the word as a synonym for Satan.
Oh,
but it didn't start out that way.
Okay.
Like if you research the Hebrew definition of the word, it was just worthless.
Got it.
But
okay. Yeah.
That just like blew me away.
Right.
Okay, the next section is saints on page 204.
Okay.
In Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 2, Moses names the places at which God appears and then says God came with 10,000s of saints.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're like, what does he mean by saints? What the fuck is that about?
Right.
So the use of the word saints here refers not to holy people, but to a holy place. Like it used to mean both. Saints were just holy institutions, holy things.
Right.
But now the term holy eventually came to mean only holy people, those who are godly and pious, so that by the time the New Testament is being compiled, it no longer applied to places, just people.
Gotcha. Okay.
So he did a lot of like word history in this bit that just like really fulfilled my satisfaction. It just, I love it. Tastes good. Okay, the next one is the blessing of Moses, and that's the last one, and it's my favorite because, just wait. On page 205. Okay, the blessing of Moses seems to be a collection of traditional sayings that were assigned in retrospect to an earlier version of the character. Like, for example, Jacob's blessing doesn't mention that Joseph's sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, are separate tribes, whereas Moses' blessing does. Right?
Yeah.
So they knew about it when they wrote Moses, but they didn't know about it.
Interesting.
Yeah. The fact that Joseph and Levi received the longest and most glowing blessing would indicate that the sayings were collected and put into final form by priestly hands in the northern kingdom of Israel, which was dominated by the Joseph tribes.
That makes a lot of sense.
And in particular by the more populous Ephraim.
Right.
So basically they were the ones writing it, therefore they were awesome.
Yeah.
Right? And so they wrote Moses saying all these fantastic things.
Right.
But only about the northern tribes. Yeah. Moses does not mention Judah's kingship in his blessing.
Right.
The northern kingdom wouldn't recognize the validity of the Davidic kingship.
Okay. Yeah.
Simon isn't mentioned at all as the tribe has been absorbed into Judah by that point. Okay. And then this is, oh my God, this is just the best bit. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Deuteronomy chapter 33 verse 6 says, "Let Reuben live and not die, and let not his men be few." Remember, like, we were making fun of all of these things that he was saying, like, just don't die.
Right.
Like, that's what he literally said to Reuben, right?
Yeah.
Except, guess what? No, it fucking wasn't.
Okay,
this is amazing. A word was added by the pious translator of the King James Version who would not let Moses say something that sounded like a curse. However, the word not is not present in the original Hebrew. So Catholic versions translate it as such. May Reuben live and not die out, but let his men be few.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's not the same.
No, not at all.
But
that's a huge difference.
But Reuben got absorbed by Moab and did in fact die out. So
interesting.
And then Moses dies, the end. But can we just go back a minute? Holy shit! King James people just were
they completely rewrote it.
Let's just decide what Moses said. He said something different.
Yeah, no, they just decided. Yeah, this is. We're not even talking about like back in Bible writing times.
That's why I'm like blown away. Like, what?
I mean, that right there, just like a.
That's so sacrilegious.
Well, it's not.
You literally changed the words from the what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
How dare?
You're essentially admitting that this is not God's word, that this is not a sacred text. You just up and change the entire thing that Moses said.
I don't even give a shit.
You don't get to do that.
I don't even give a shit about Judah.
1,500 years after he's dead.
Right? I don't care about Judah. I don't care what you say about him.
Right.
Or Reuben or what the fuck ever. Right. I don't even care about this guy. But how dare you change Moses' words?
And then still claim it as God's word.
Right? My God.
Okay.
I lost my mind when I read that.
Right.
Because it's exactly the opposite message.
No, and that right there
the early
almost
writers
basically
intended.
proves that it's a political construct instead of a religious construct.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I lost my mind. And that is why I don't read the King James Version.
Well, I mean, it also...
among other reasons.
Right, but it also translates down to other versions that are not the King James. I mean, people have taken this... I think that's the way we read it
That's
in
the way
NIV,
we read it. Yep.
It's just...
Yeah, you would have to get a Catholic version...
Right.
...in order to read it correctly.
Yeah, so it affects other... it affects a lot.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's interesting.
Fucking King James. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, so that concludes the book of Deuteronomy from Asimov's perspective.
Okay.
Yeah. And the next book he will cover is the book of Joshua which is 18 pages. It goes from page 208 to 225. I've split that in half, though. So next week, we are going to cover page 208 to 217. The topics will be Joshua, Jericho, Gilgal, the wall of Jericho, not the wall of that Trump was going to build.
Right.
AI.
Got it.
Gibeon and Ajalon, or Ayalon.
Okay. All right. Well, sounds good. And I don't know that I have a whole lot to add. So
I'm just still that was
good stuff right there at the end. I appreciate that.
Yeah. All right. We'll tune in next week for Sacrilegious Book Club, and we'll see you tonight with the weekly wrap up, and we will see you tomorrow, Monday, with 1 Chronicles chapter 6.
That is correct. We'll see you guys.
Bye.
Hey, wife. I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Hey, wife. I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.